Hey everyone, welcome back to Nitro Garagin. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today we've got something really special for you. An epic showdown between two of America's most popular midsize pickup trucks. On my left, we have the Nissan Frontier, and on my right, the legendary Toyota Tacoma. We're going to test these trucks in every way possible. Off-road, on-road, towing, daily driving, everything. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which truck is right for you. So let's dive right in. Let's start with the Nissan Frontier. This truck represents incredible value and real-world capability. The Frontier was completely redesigned in 2022, and it brought some serious improvements to the table. Today we're looking at the Pro 4X trim, which is Nissan's off-road focus package. Under the hood, you'll find a 3.8-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine. This power plant cranks out 310 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. Now those are some impressive numbers for a midsize truck. Being naturally aspirated means there's no turbo lag. When you press the gas pedal, you get immediate response. The engine is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission that shifts smoothly in normal driving, but can be a bit hesitant when you're really pushing it. The Frontier comes standard with rear-wheel drive, but you can opt for a part-time 4-wheel drive system, which is what we have on this Pro 4X model. The Pro 4X package adds some serious off-road hardware. You get Bilstein off-road shock absorbers that really help smooth out rough terrain. There's an electronic locking rear differential that sends power to both rear wheels when you need maximum traction. You also get skid plates protecting the oil pan, transfer case, and fuel tank. The approach angle is 30.7 degrees, departure angle is 23.8 degrees, and ground clearance sits at 9.8 inches. These are solid numbers that mean this truck can handle some serious obstacles. The Pro 4X also comes with all-terrain tires right from the factory, so you're ready to hit the trails immediately. Inside the Frontier, you'll find a comfortable and practical cabin. The seats are supportive with cloth upholstery on the base models, but our Pro 4X has leather-appointed seats that feel premium. The front seats are heated, which is great for cold mornings. The driving position is commanding. You sit up high with great visibility all around. The dashboard layout is simple and functional. There's an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that includes Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The system is responsive and easy to use while driving. You also get a 7-inch driver information display between the gauges that shows all your important truck information. Storage space is decent with a good-sized center console, door pockets, and cup holders. The rear seats are spacious enough for adults, though the slightly upright seatback angle might get uncomfortable on longer trips. The truck bed measures 5 feet long on our crew cab model, which is perfect for most weekend warrior activities. You can opt for a 6-foot bed if you need more cargo space. The bed comes with a spray-in bed liner, tie-down cleats, and a 120-volt power outlet in the bed wall. The tailgate is damped so it lowers gently, and there's an integrated step to help you climb into the bed. Maximum payload capacity is 1,610 pounds, which is strong for this class. Towing capacity maxes out at 6,720 pounds when properly equipped. That's enough to tow a decent-sized boat or travel trailer. Now let's talk pricing. The base Frontier S starts around $30,000, which is very competitive. Our Pro 4X model we're testing today comes in around $40,000 fully loaded. That's thousands less than a comparable Tacoma, which brings us to the value proposition. The Frontier gives you a lot of truck for the money. You're getting a powerful V6 engine, legitimate off-road capability, modern technology, and a comfortable interior all at a price point that's hard to beat. Fuel economy is rated at 18 miles per gallon city and 24 miles per gallon highway with rear-wheel drive. Those numbers drop slightly to 17 city and 22 highway with four-wheel drive. Not the best in class, but reasonable for a V6 powered truck. Now let's move on to the Toyota Tacoma. This truck needs no introduction. It's been the king of the midsize truck segment for years. The Tacoma has built a reputation for legendary reliability, incredible off-road capability, and amazing resale value. Today we're looking at the TRD Pro model, which is Toyota's ultimate off-road warrior. The current generation Tacoma has been around since 2016, but Toyota has kept it fresh with updates over the years. For 2024, there's an all-new Tacoma, but we're testing the outgoing generation to give you a fair comparison since many of these are still on dealer lots. Under the hood of our Tacoma TRD Pro, you'll find a 3.5-liter V6 engine producing 278 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque. Now you might notice these numbers are lower than the Frontier, and you'd be right. The Tacoma's engine makes 32 less horsepower and 16 less torque. However, don't let those numbers fool you. This engine has been proven over millions of miles and is known for incredible durability. It's paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission. Yes, just 6 speeds compared to the Frontier's 9 speeds. Some people see this as outdated, but this transmission is bulletproof and has been refined over many years. It shifts predictably and reliably, though it's not the quickest or smoothest in the segment. The TRD Pro package is where the Tacoma really shines. This is the top-of-the-line off-road trim, and Toyota doesn't hold back. You get Fox 2.5-inch internal bypass shocks with remote reservoirs. These are the same type of shocks used in desert racing trucks, and they cost over $1,400 if you were to buy them aftermarket. The improvement in off-road ride quality is dramatic. You also get a front skid plate, upgraded springs for extra lift, and TRD Pro wheels wrapped in Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain tires. Ground clearance is 9.4 inches, approach angle is 29 degrees, and departure angle is 23.5 degrees. The TRD Pro also includes a locking rear differential, crawl control, which is like cruise control for off-roading, and multi-terrain select that adjusts traction control for different surfaces. Inside the Tacoma, the cabin feels rugged and purpose-built. The TRD Pro gets special black leather seats with red stitching and embroidered TRD Pro headrests. The seats are comfortable and supportive, though some people find them a bit firm. The dashboard layout is simple, and everything falls easily to hand. You get an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The system works well, but isn't the most modern compared to newer competitors. Behind the steering wheel is a 4.2-inch multi-information display that shows vehicle settings and trip information. The interior materials are durable rather than luxurious. Lots of hard plastics, but everything feels like it'll last forever. Storage space is adequate with a decent center console and door pockets. The bed on our double cab model measures 5 feet long. Like the Frontier, you can get a 6-foot bed with the Access cab configuration. The Tacoma bed doesn't come standard with a spray-in liner, but it does have composite construction that's designed to resist dents and corrosion. There are tie-down cleats and a 120-volt power outlet. Maximum payload capacity is 1,175 pounds on the TRD Pro, which is actually lower than the Frontier because of all the heavy-duty off-road equipment. Towing capacity maxes out at 6,400 pounds. Again, slightly less than the Frontier, but still plenty for most people's needs. Pricing is where the Tacoma gets expensive. The base Tacoma SR starts around $28,000, but our TRD Pro model rings in at around $50,000. That's $10,000 more than a loaded Frontier Pro for X. So what are you paying for? You're paying for Toyota's legendary reliability. These trucks regularly see 300,000 miles with proper maintenance. You're paying for best-in-class resale value. A 5-year-old Tacoma still holds about 70% of its original value. And you're paying for the most capable off-road package you can get from the factory with those Fox shocks and proven systems. Fuel economy is rated at 18 miles per gallon city and 22 miles per gallon highway, nearly identical to the Frontier despite having less power. Now let's get to the fun part, actually testing these trucks. We're starting with off-road performance because that's where both of these trucks are designed to shine. We've set up a course that includes a mud pit, a rocky section, a steep hill climb, and a descent test. This will really show us what these trucks can do when the pavement ends. First up is the mud pit. We've got about 50 feet of deep, sloppy mud that's about 2 to 3 feet deep in places. Both trucks are in 4-wheel drive with their rear differentials locked. The Frontier goes first. I engage 4 high, lock the rear diff, and point it at the mud. Here we go. The V6 roars to life, and we hit the mud with authority. Immediately, mud is flying everywhere, on the windshield, the hood, the sides. The Frontier is powering through. Those all-terrain tires are digging and clawing for grip. The steering wheel is kicking in my hands as the front wheels search for traction. Halfway through, and we're maintaining momentum. The engine is working hard, but not struggling. 3/4 through, and we're still moving. And we're out. The Frontier made it through in about 12 seconds. Very impressive. The truck is absolutely covered in mud, but it powered through without any drama. Now it's the Tacoma's turn. Same conditions, same mud pit. I've got it in 4 high with the rear locker engaged and crawl control activated. Crawl control is going to automatically manage the throttle and brakes to maintain a steady speed. Let's see how it does. Into the mud we go. The Tacoma is moving at a very controlled pace thanks to crawl control. It's actually slower than I went in the Frontier, but it's incredibly consistent. The tires are finding grip and the truck is just steadily working its way through. The Fox shocks are doing an amazing job soaking up the ruts and bumps under all this mud. About halfway through now, and the Tacoma hasn't even hesitated. It's just methodically making progress. 3/4 through, and we're about to exit. And we're out. The Tacoma took about 15 seconds, so it was slower, but it required almost no driver input. The crawl control system really works. Both trucks conquered the mud, but they did it in different ways. The Frontier felt more raw and engaging, while the Tacoma felt more controlled and automated. Next is the rock section. We've got a field of large boulders, some of them 2 feet tall, arranged to create a technical crawling challenge. This tests suspension articulation, ground clearance, and wheel placement. The Frontier approaches the first boulder. I'm in 4 low now for maximum control and torque. As the front wheel climbs the rock, I can feel the Bilstein shocks compressing and extending. The front driver's wheel is completely off the ground now as the Frontier articulates over the boulder. The rear wheels are maintaining contact and pushing us forward. Ground clearance is excellent. I'm not hearing any scraping from the skid plates. Working through this boulder field requires careful wheel placement and patience. The Frontier's shorter wheelbase compared to some full-size trucks actually helps here. It's easier to maneuver between obstacles. The electronic rear locker is keeping power going to both rear wheels, which is crucial when one wheel is in the air. After about 3 minutes of careful crawling, we've made it through the rock section. The Frontier handled it well, though I had to be very deliberate with steering inputs. Now the Tacoma's turn in the rocks. Again, I'm using crawl control along with the front and rear lockers. What's immediately noticeable is how much smoother the Tacoma feels over these rocks. Those Fox bypass shocks are absolutely worth the money. They're absorbing impacts that would be jarring in the Frontier. The Tacoma's wheelbase is slightly longer, which means it bridges obstacles differently. As we climb over the first major boulder, the suspension articulation is impressive. The front wheel is way up in the air, but the truck feels completely stable and controlled. The multi-terrain select system is in rock mode, which adjusts the traction control to allow some wheel slip while preventing excessive spinning. Moving through the course, I can almost let the truck drive itself. The crawl control maintains perfect speed while I just steer. The whole experience is much less stressful than in the Frontier. We clear the rock section in about 2.5 minutes, slightly faster than the Frontier and with way less effort. The Tacoma's advanced off-road systems really shine here. The hill climb is next, a steep sandy incline that's about 35 degrees. This tests raw power and traction management. The Frontier lines up at the bottom. I'm in 4 low with the rear locker engaged. For the throttle, and here we go. The V6 is screaming. We're at about 5,000 revolutions per minute. The tires are digging into the sand, creating huge rooster tails behind us. The extra horsepower of the Frontier is definitely noticeable here. We're charging up this hill with authority. Halfway up and still pulling strong. The transmission is holding the gear perfectly, not hunting or shifting. 3/4 up and we're not slowing down. And we crest the top. The Frontier made it up in about 18 seconds. That was impressive. The power advantage really showed. The Tacoma's turn to climb. Same approach, 4 low, lockers engaged, and I'm adding crawl control again. Up the hill we go. The Tacoma is climbing at a more controlled pace. The engine is working hard, but not screaming like the Frontier's V6 was. The torque delivery feels strong and consistent even though there's less horsepower. About 1/3 of the way up, and I'm noticing the tires are gripping better. Maybe the Goodyear Wranglers have a slight edge over the Frontier's tires in loose sand. Halfway up and maintaining speed. The Fox shocks are keeping all 4 wheels planted, which is helping traction. 3/4 up, and still going steady. And we're up. The Tacoma took about 21 seconds, a bit slower than the Frontier, but it felt more controlled and required less driver input. Both trucks conquered the hill, but again, in different styles. Last off-road test is the descent. We're going down the same sandy hill, but this time testing downhill control systems. The Frontier has hill descent control, which I activate. The system automatically applies the brakes to maintain a controlled speed of about 3 to 4 miles per hour. Down we go. The system is working well. The brakes are pulsing automatically, and I'm just steering. The descent feels controlled, though I can feel the rear end wanting to slide out slightly on the loose sand. The Frontier makes it down safely and smoothly. Very confidence-inspiring for someone who might not have a lot of off-road experience. The Tacoma's hill descent control is similar. I activate it and start down. What's immediately different is how much more composed the Tacoma feels. The Fox shocks are controlling body motion better, and the truck just feels more planted. The crawl control is managing throttle and brakes perfectly. The descent is smooth as silk. If I had to choose which truck I'd trust to get me down a difficult trail, the Tacoma would edge ahead just because of those incredible shocks and refined systems. So after all the off-road testing, what's the verdict? Both trucks are very capable. The Frontier offers more raw power and a more engaging driving experience. It's also more affordable, so you're getting serious capability for less money. The Tacoma has more refined off-road systems, better suspension hardware with those Fox shocks, and systems like crawl control that make difficult terrain easier. If you're an experienced off-roader who likes to feel connected to the driving experience, the Frontier is fantastic. If you want the most capable truck with systems that help you tackle obstacles, the Tacoma is hard to beat. Now let's switch gears and talk about on-road and street performance. We're going to do some acceleration testing, highway driving, and see how these trucks behave in normal daily use. First up is a 0 to 60 acceleration test. We've got a long straight section of closed road. The Frontier is up first. I'm in two-wheel drive for maximum performance. Launch control isn't available, so this is just a brake stand launch. Building some boost, and go. The Frontier launches hard, the V6 screaming. The 9-speed is shifting quickly through the gears. The power delivery is strong and linear. We cross 60 miles per hour, and I checked the time, 6.4 seconds. That's really good for a midsize truck. The Frontier feels quick and responsive in normal driving because of that instant throttle response from the naturally aspirated engine. The Tacoma's turn. Same setup, two-wheel drive, brake stand launch. Here we go. The Tacoma launches, and it's noticeably slower than the Frontier. The 6-speed transmission doesn't shift quite as quickly. The engine doesn't rev as freely. We cross 60 miles per hour at 7.2 seconds. That's nearly a full second slower than the Frontier. In daily driving, you can feel this difference. The Tacoma isn't slow by any means, but if outright acceleration matters to you, the Frontier has a clear advantage. Let's try a highway passing test. We're cruising at 50 miles per hour and need to accelerate to 80 to pass. In the Frontier, I mash the throttle. The transmission kicks down 2 gears, and the V6 pulls strongly. The power comes on immediately. We're at 80 miles per hour in about 4.5 seconds. Very confident passing power. The Frontier feels responsive and willing at highway speeds. Same test in the Tacoma. Cruising at 50, throttle to the floor. The transmission downshifts, and the response is a bit lazier. The engine takes a moment to build revs. The acceleration is adequate, but not as urgent as the Frontier. We hit 80 in about 5.8 seconds. It gets the job done, but you need to plan your passes a bit more. The Tacoma's powertrain feels more relaxed and less eager than the Frontier's. Highway cruising comfort is where both trucks do well. In the Frontier, the ride at 70 miles per hour is comfortable. There's some road noise from the all-terrain tires, but it's not excessive. Wind noise is well controlled. The seats remain comfortable on long drives. The steering is light and easy. The Frontier is a pleasant highway cruiser that won't tire you out on long trips. The Tacoma is similar. Comfortable seats, manageable noise levels, easy steering. What I notice is the Tacoma feels slightly more refined. There's a bit less vibration coming through the steering wheel and chassis. The Fox shocks that work so well off-road also do a great job smoothing out bumps and expansion joints on the highway. If I had to drive one of these across the country, I'd probably choose the Tacoma just for that extra bit of refinement. even though the Frontier is very close. Towing is an important capability for pickup trucks. We've hooked up identical 5,000-pound trailers to both trucks. That's well within the capability of both, but it's enough weight to really test the powertrains. Starting with the Frontier, accelerating from a stop with the trailer is easy. That 310 horsepower V6 has plenty of power to get the trailer moving. Merging onto the highway requires a good amount of throttle, but the Frontier handles it confidently. On a steep highway grade, the engine works hard but maintains speed. The transmission shifts frequently to keep the engine in its power band. The Frontier is a capable towing machine that inspires confidence. The Tacoma towing the same trailer feels slightly more strained. With less horsepower, you need to use more throttle to get moving. Highway merges require nearly full throttle. On steep grades, the Tacoma works harder to maintain speed. That said, it never feels dangerous or out of control. The transmission downshifts appropriately, and the brakes have plenty of power to control the trailer. The Tacoma can certainly tow, but the Frontier feels like it has more reserve power for towing situations. Daily driving is where most people will spend the majority of their time in these trucks. In the Frontier, everyday usability is excellent. The truck is easy to park thanks to decent visibility and a reasonable size. The turning circle is manageable. Getting in and out is easy. The interior is quiet enough for conversation. Technology works seamlessly. The ride is comfortable around town. You don't feel like you're sacrificing anything driving the Frontier as a daily vehicle. The only real downside is fuel economy. Averaging 18 to 19 miles per gallon in mixed driving means you'll be visiting the gas station frequently. The Tacoma is similarly good as a daily driver. It's easy to live with, comfortable, and the size is manageable. The one area where the Tacoma really shines is build quality. Everything just feels like it's built to last. Switches have a quality feel. Panel gaps are tight. Materials might not be the fanciest, but they feel durable. You get the sense this truck will still be running strong in 15 years. Fuel economy is nearly identical to the Frontier, so both trucks have similar running costs in that regard. Let's talk about interior space and practicality. Both trucks have comfortable front seats with good adjustment range. The Frontier's front row feels slightly more spacious with a bit more shoulder room. Storage is good in both with decent center consoles and door pockets. Moving to the back seats, the Frontier's crew cab has good legroom for adults. The seat cushion could be a bit longer, but overall it's comfortable for passengers. The Tacoma's back seat is similar. Adequate room for adults, though the slightly upright seat back might be less comfortable on very long trips. Kids will be perfectly happy in either truck. For cargo, both beds are similar sizes. The Frontier has the advantage of a spray-in bed liner standard, while the Tacoma's composite bed is dent-resistant. Both have bed lighting and power outlets. Safety features are important. The Frontier comes standard with automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, and rear cross-traffic alert. Available features include blind spot monitoring and rear automatic braking. In testing, these systems work well and aren't overly intrusive. The Tacoma has a similar suite of safety tech with automatic emergency braking, lane departure alert, and adaptive cruise control. Both trucks have earned good safety ratings from the IIHS, so you can feel confident in either one. Technology and infotainment are competitive in both trucks. The Frontier's 8-inch touchscreen is responsive with clear graphics. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto work wirelessly, which is a nice touch. The available 9-speaker Fender audio system sounds great. The Tacoma's 8-inch screen is equally good with the same smartphone integration. The JBL audio system available on the TRD Pro sounds excellent. Both trucks offer what you'd expect in terms of modern connectivity, multiple USB ports, Bluetooth, navigation. Neither truck feels behind the times in this area. Reliability is where Toyota has built its reputation. The Tacoma is legendary for going hundreds of thousands of miles with just basic maintenance. You'll see Tacomas from the early 2000s still working as daily drivers. The resale value reflects this reliability. Tacomas hold their value better than any other truck. The Frontier doesn't have quite the same proven track record, especially since the current generation only launched in 2022. However, early reliability reports have been positive, and Nissan's V6 engines have a good reputation for durability. Time will tell if the Frontier matches the Tacoma's legendary reliability, but initial signs are promising. Warranty coverage is similar on both trucks. Both come with 3 years or 36,000 miles bumper-to-bumper and 5 years or 60,000 miles powertrain. Nissan throws in 3 years of roadside assistance, while Toyota offers 2 years. Neither has a significant advantage here. Let's talk total cost of ownership. The Frontier starts with a lower purchase price, potentially $5,000 to $10,000 less than a comparable Tacoma. Fuel economy is virtually identical, so fuel cost will be similar. Insurance rates are likely similar too. Where the Tacoma wins is resale value. When it comes time to sell or trade in, the Tacoma will likely be worth thousands more. Over a 5-year ownership period, the Tacoma's better resale value can offset much of its higher purchase price. If you plan to keep the truck for 10+ years and drive it into the ground, the Frontier's lower initial cost might make more sense. So which truck should you buy? Here's my honest recommendation. Choose the Nissan Frontier if you want maximum value for money. You're getting a truck with more power, good capability, modern features, and a significantly lower price than the Tacoma. The Frontier is perfect for someone who wants a capable midsize truck but doesn't want to pay the Toyota premium. It's great for weekend warriors, light-duty towing, and daily driving. You're getting about 90% of what the Tacoma offers for 80% of the price. Choose the Toyota Tacoma if you want the most proven, reliable midsize truck on the market. Yes, you'll pay more upfront, but you're buying peace of mind. The Tacoma is for someone who plans to keep their truck for many years and wants to know it'll still be running when others have given up. It's for serious off-road enthusiasts who want the best factory off-road equipment money can buy. It's for anyone who wants maximum resale value. The Tacoma is the safe choice that you won't regret. Personally, if I'm being completely honest, I'd have a hard time choosing. If I was on a tighter budget or wanted maximum performance, I'd pick the Frontier. It's an excellent truck that doesn't get enough credit. But if money wasn't as tight and I wanted the truck that would outlast everything else, I'd probably go Tacoma. That legendary reliability and those incredible Fox shocks on the TRD Pro are just so good. The reality is, you can't go wrong with either of these trucks. Both are excellent midsize pickups that blend capability, practicality, and reasonable pricing. The Frontier is the value champion and performance winner. The Tacoma is the reliability king and off-road master. Test drive both, see which one speaks to you, and you'll be happy with whichever you choose. That's it for today's comparison. I hope this helped you understand the real differences between the Nissan Frontier and Toyota Tacoma. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. We've got more truck comparisons, off-road adventures, and automotive content coming your way. Drop a comment below and let me know, are you Team Frontier or Team Tacoma? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.